U.S. President Donald Trump has arrived in Scotland for a private trip that's set to blend business, politics, and golf. Trump is due to hold talks with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer and Scottish First Minister John Swinney. He's also celebrating the opening of his new golf course in Aberdeenshire, which has sparked outcry over environmental concerns. Around 5,000 police are expected to be deployed to handle protests against Trump's visit, costing British taxpayers millions. Well, during this trip, Trump will also meet with EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. Here's what he said about a potential trade deal with the European Union.
With the European Union, I think we have a good 50-50 chance. That's a lot.
What are the sticking points that you
Well, I don't want to tell you what the sticking points are, but the sticking points are having to do with maybe 20 different things. You don't want to listen to all of them, yes. But we're meeting, in terms of a deal, we're meeting with the European Union, and that would be actually the biggest deal of them all if we make it.
Well, many Scots appear to have mixed feelings about the high-profile guest. Here's what people had to say about Trump's visit.
I don't think many Scottish people would feel he's welcome. I think it's an embarrassment that he is coming here at all.
Waste of time. Total waste of time. We don't want him here. That's it. Simple as that.
I would say he's welcome to come. Talking is always good. To divide and keep people separate from one another without discussing tends to create more problems than conversation.
I don't care. Doesn't interest me at all.
Well, for more, let's bring in Ethan Bearman. He's a professor at Loyola Law School in Los Angeles and also a political commentator. Ethan, this is not an official visit, and yet, as we heard, Scottish taxpayers are paying millions for security. U.S. taxpayers are probably paying more than $1 million for this trip, which Trump is using largely to promote his family's golf courses. How is that going down in the U.S.?
Well, interestingly, it is just like everything else in the U.S. at this time, which is it's split between along party lines. I also saw, by the way, the HuffPost did an analysis that said that this is costing the U.S. taxpayer $9.7 million, according to their calculations, for this trip across to Scotland. But interestingly, again, it's the Democrats, people who are not for Trump, who are loudly complaining about this, in particular because President Trump was very loud before his first election in his complaints against President Obama for visiting golf courses, yet President Trump has exceeded then President Obama's numbers for going to the golf course.
Right, and it's not just any golf courses, it's golf courses owned by his own family. Officially, the president no longer legally controls the family holdings. Do you still see conflicts of interest there?
Oh, very much so, because it's not an arm's length transaction when your son is still running the empire and he's doing it off of extensively your name. Furthermore, there's a group called the Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, which is a number of former attorneys that are involved with that group, maybe even some that are current attorneys. And they have calculated that Trump's promotion of his own properties is up 78% in his second term. And those visits to his own properties, as you just mentioned, is up approximately 32% in his second term. I have always thought that presidents should only have money in things that are completely removed, that they have any influence over. I just personally find it problematic when the president is personally benefiting, according to some people, to the tune of billions of dollars since he has taken office this year in January.
Now, aside from golf and the Trump family businesses, Trump is meeting with EU Chief von der Leyen this weekend. The EU's really hoping this will be their chance to secure a trade deal with the U.S. Do you think Trump is in the mood to make a deal?
You know, it is really hard to know with President Trump where he really does stand on these trade deals, because we've seen the vacillation back and forth. I can say that as an American citizen and taxpayer, I really hope we come to a deal with the European Union. This weekend would be fantastic. I would like to see some normalization of our trade relations with our biggest trading bloc partner of the EU. I'm just speaking to that personally. But with President Trump, you never really know. And as we heard in that interview just now after landing in Scotland, he's not showing his cards of where he really stands. And I'm always a little concerned that it's the whim in the moment that leads him to a deal or not a deal.
Well, he'll keep us guessing until it happens. Ethan Bearman, thanks for your insights.
Thanks, David.